G'day YouTubers, my name's Jonty and welcome to another episode on the John Head Crypto channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the latest crypto news and events. It's been a short while since the last video, so I'm super eager to get back into it. Today's topics, we're going to be talking about GM potentially to accept Bitcoin, Shiba has been launched on Coinbase Pro, and Bitcoin mining hash rate has dropped to a 6-month low. Why? Well, we're going to find out about it in the video, plus much more. Please stick around to see what's going on. Let's get into the video. The first things first, let's have a look at CoinMarketCap. We're going to go through a few things on here as we like to start the video out as normal. So first up, we're going to get onto coinmarketcap.com, a very favored website here throughout the cryptocurrency network, as it gives you just so much information in the one place. It's definitely a helpful tool. So much you can do in here, something we'll probably go through in some later videos. But what I wanted to start off with was the total market cap of cryptocurrency right now. Now at the top here, it tells us quite a bit. So we'll start off here. Let's go with cryptos. We've got 10,477 cryptocurrencies currently listed on CoinMarketCap. I'm pretty sure this site shows more than any other website there is out there. Probably fact check that, but this really is the go-to if you want to find out about it. And basically, if it's legit, well, this is the place to go. So quite a high number there. I can't remember if it's higher or lower than when we last had a video, but there we go. So market cap, here we go. We're currently sitting at $1.629 trillion. This is up from what we've seen over the past few weeks, but this is a new thing here down the bottom. Today's cryptocurrency price by market cap. The global crypto market cap is 1.63 trillion, which is 4.67% down over the last day. However, this is up from the past few weeks, but it's down significantly since we're currently in the quite a big dip at the moment. Still in a consolidation period, but we'll talk about that later. So current market cap, 1.6 trillion. Another thing we wanted to have a look at was the Bitcoin dominance. Super high at the moment. It's just jumped again to 45.3%. Let's have a bit of a look here. So as we can see, it had a real high when we were in May, and then it's dipped down down to here, and we're currently sitting at the 45%. Was it 45%? 45.3%. So quite high at the moment. And do we expect it to keep going up? Well, I think so. That's what we're hearing a lot of, that we're going to see Bitcoin dominance go up, as we're in a pretty volatile state at the moment. So if anything's going to lead the way, it's got to be Bitcoin. We all know this. This isn't new. That's basically a quick look at CoinMarketCap. We've had a look at the Bitcoin dominance and the CoinMarketCap. Something that's always very interesting to have a bit of a look at. This is all in USD as well, which I highly recommend sticking to if you don't already. It's definitely worth, I don't know if it's learning or just, getting used to using this than what your native currency probably is. This is sort of where most of the action happens in the USD. US dollars. Before I forget, how about we come back to CoinMarketCap and just have a bit of a look at the top 10, see where we're sitting at the moment with all the current cryptocurrency prices. So a lot of red here, as we can see, no real surprise. So let's have a look first at Bitcoin. Currently sitting at 39,200 US dollars, which is, well, basically the same over the past 24 hours and slightly up over the 7 days, as we did start to see a little bit of green coming back after we've had a big bit of good news, whether it be from Elon Musk saying that he's going to start accepting Bitcoin again for Tesla once they start getting a little more green with mining, whether I think he said 50%, once it's 50% renewable energy and onward or something like that. Moving on, so Bitcoin currently sitting at 39,000 US dollars. This really is what leads the pack as well. When currently at the moment, when we're sitting down like this, when Bitcoin is doing things, the rest of the pack is following. So as you can see, the charts are very similar on just about everything here, except for obviously the stable coins or the tethers. So as we can see, everything's down at the moment. Nothing too exciting. Has there been much of a mix up in the top 10? Not really. Still Bitcoin 1, Ethereum 2, Binance still taking the third position with Cardano just behind. Where are their market caps at the moment? Here we go, 55 versus 48. These two seem to be taking each other's positions fairly often. They switch between the top three. Dogecoin, quite a surprise, still sitting up here in the top 10. One we're not surprised with is XRP. Still waiting for the big news in the SEC to see something really happen with XRP. So it's basically just dormant in the meantime. Yeah, not a lot going on. Polkadot, Uniswap, and Bitcoin Cash, we're all just floating at the meantime. So that's a quick update on what we're seeing in the top 10. Not a lot of movement outside of what Bitcoin is doing, as it's really controlling the game right now, as it always does. Another thing I did want to mention that I have had people ask, and I also wasn't really sure myself, to be honest, but one thing we hear a lot of is, why aren't the prices moving why doesn't the price of Bitcoin move when we hear of people like Michael Saylor or other large scale investors buying into Bitcoin? Why doesn't it reflect on the price? Well, I don't know. Some people say that, well, it's not enough to make an impact, which sometimes it is. But the real reason is that we have, when these large scale investors are buying, they're buying Bitcoin through OTC, so over the counter market. This doesn't actually affect the price that we see online. It doesn't affect these graphs. I find that pretty interesting because it just really makes us think when we start to hear of these large investors who have actually bought in whilst we've been in this dip, that they haven't made public knowledge yet. But once we start hearing about big institutions that have invested into Bitcoin, just the news of that should be big enough to start affecting the price. In the meantime, like when we don't know, all that it really affects is just the availability of Bitcoin. So as we can see here, the circulating supply, 18.7 million. Basically, when large buy-ins happen from institutions or just in general, this number should just continue to, well, basically fill up until we've hit 100%, which is amazing how much of Bitcoin is already in circulation. All right, so moving on, I thought we would check out the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. This is something you've probably seen a lot on YouTube getting around. I really like to have a bit of a look at this. So right now we're sitting at 26%, which is in the fear zone. It's not as bad as we've seen recently. So let's have a look here. Historical values now are at 26. Yesterday we were sitting at 33, which is probably the highest we've been for a short while, whilst we've been in this down zone, I guess you call it. Last week we were looking at extreme fear in 21, last month 21, basically when we just started to really dip down pretty hard. So then it's got a graph down here. I've clicked on the 3-month index. We can see things got, yeah, we're in the extreme greed section for quite a while there, whilst things were nice and green. And as you can see, we're still sitting down here, but things are looking a little bit more promising on the fear and greed index. This, believe it or not, does really affect prices. Sometimes we see when people are less fearful, well, that's when we see more money coming in. So this is definitely something to keep an eye out. Just another tool to use. Also, let me know in the comments what you think, whether we're going to continue to see this rise or fall. Where do you think we're going to head in the next few weeks, days, months? It's really up in the air, so I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments, and maybe a bit of info as to why you think that's the case. All right, let's start getting into the actual news that we talked about at the start of the video. So first up, I think this is pretty big if you haven't already heard, and you might not have, because it seemed to have been kept pretty damn quiet and not all that easy to find on the internet. But I'll start off with some of the old news here. So so this is CNBC. GM has no interest in following Tesla and investing in Bitcoin. But then we look at the key points, and this is posted in February, by the way. So back when Tesla had just announced that, well, Elon Musk had announced that they had bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin for Tesla. Now, let's read the key points here. GM CEO Mary Barra has no plans of investing in Bitcoin following Tesla purchasing $1.5 billion worth of cryptocurrency. Okay, so basically what the title says here, but the next 2 points are what we really want to look at. She said the automaker will monitor customer demand as it weighs whether to accept the cryptocurrency to pay for its services and vehicles. So that basically, I don't know, counteracts what the first key point is there. They're saying that they have no plans in investing in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but then it's actually saying here that the CEO is monitoring customer demand as it weighs whether to accept the cryptocurrency to pay for its services and vehicles. So then we'll move on to the third key point here. If GM were to accept the cryptocurrency for new vehicles, it would have to work the process out with its franchise dealers network. So that could be a bit technical, but it's obviously something they should be able to overcome. Anyway, that's the old news. That's from February. Let's move on to what has been announced within the last 24 hours. GM, General Motors CEO, nothing precludes GM from accepting Bitcoin if there's consumer demand. This wasn't easy to find. I can't even remember how I heard about this, whether it was on someone else's channel, but I hadn't heard of the other big YouTubers talking about this, and I thought this was pretty big considering it was massive news when Tesla did start accepting Bitcoin. Obviously, they're not saying they are accepting just yet. Let's have a bit more of a look here. The CEO of General Motors, America's largest automaker, says that nothing precludes her company from accepting Bitcoin if there is consumer demand for it. Basically what we saw in the second point on the news in February. Certainly we want to make the whole buying and ownership experience as easy as possible, says the GM chief executive. Now, I find it interesting that she is talking about this at all, and not necessarily in a negative context either. Just saying that if the demand is there, well, then we would consider it. This is very interesting stuff. I couldn't ignore that and not bring it up in a video, so there we go. Next piece of news we're going to look at is Bitcoin mining hash rate drops to 6.5-month low after China mining crackdown. As we know, Bitcoin and China have not been working hand in hand lately. China has really been cracking down on Bitcoin miners in particular. So let's have a look here. The Bitcoin network's power could rebound if miners relocate to other areas, one analyst predicts. This isn't necessarily bad news. Why? Well, as it says there, we're probably going to see large Bitcoin mining pools shifting from China to other countries like El Salvador, that we've heard is now taking Bitcoin as currency, which is obviously massive news, and we haven't talked about that on the channel, but there we go. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of big pools shifting to places like El Salvador or other countries that, well, I think El Salvador is even tax-free on crypto mining or crypto in general. Can't remember, but that's a massive deal in itself as well. No surprise if we see these massive pools start to come back and the hash rate come back to where it was. Let's just see how that goes. In the meantime, I think it is making its way back up. Let's just have a quick read here of what we got. The Bitcoin hash rate, the total computational power used to secure transactions on the blockchain has dropped to its lowest level since November, possibly a reflection of China's recent crackdown on cryptocurrency mining amid concerns over the network's energy consumption, which is probably FUD. The 7-day average hash rate slid to 129.1 million exahashes per second on Tuesday, well off the all-time high of 180 million exahashes per second in mid-May, according to data from Glassnode. It's still up from 105 million a year ago, so it's still higher than a year ago. All right, next big piece of news that we had in the topic. Shiba coin price soars as Coinbase Pro announces SHIB cryptocurrency trading. We've got here the price of Shiba Inu cryptocurrency got a boost Tuesday after Coinbase announced that the meme crypto will start trading on Coinbase Pro as early as this week. This announcement follows Coinbase adding trading for dogecoin. We've got a lot of Shiba fans out there. I am not a holder personally myself, but it's got a massive market cap still, even in the current situation we're in now. One thing I just wanted to mention as well, this is Coinbase Pro. Now, we have seen in the past when Coinbase announced that they were launching ADA on Coinbase Pro, it was only a matter of, I think it was days until they launched ADA on Coinbase. I have a feeling that they'll probably do the same thing here with Shiba, whether it's a few days, could be weeks, I don't know. I think when they did Doge, it was actually launched at the same time that they put it on Coinbase Pro and Coinbase. Let's just see what happens. Either way, great news for Shiba. It did have a 30% rally. Somewhere I read it was 30% at the time anyway. Whether it's still holding or not, I haven't had a look, but look at that. I reckon we're going to leave it there for another episode of John Head Crypto. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please feel free to like this video. Also share it with friends or family who you think might be interested in the latest crypto news and updates. As well, please don't forget to comment down below. I'll love to hear from you guys. Thank you again. Thanks for tuning in and look forward to seeing you in the next video.